Hi Book Chickens, I am back. So I'm here to do a bit of a weekend reading vlog. I have a 3-day weekend and I don't really know what I want to read. So I will say I did start Beautiful Exile this week and I just didn't want it finishing it. So I'm gonna talk about that throughout this vlog. I'm gonna kind of flash to the past and kind of give you guys a little bit of an update on this as well. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spin a wheel, and I'm either going to read a physical book on my TBR, which is a random 7. Basically, I get to choose. Random 7 means I have to randomize my physical TBR, or I'm going to pick something from NetGalley, or I am going to choose a library book. So that is where we are. So yeah, basically if it says physical, I get to choose. If it's random, then I don't get to choose. Okay. Ooh, okay. So I have to randomize the 7 books on my TBR. So, alright, so I'm going to do a random number generator. Alright, and then I have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, do random 7 and see what that's just. Okay, 3. 1, 2. Okay, alright, so let me go get that book that I have. It is actually a middle grade book, and it is The Daggers of Ire by J.C. Cervantes. This is another middle grade book that I was supposed to read during middle grade March, and then I just didn't. So I'm gonna start this. I actually have to go find all of my bookmarks because I've been reading different things all week and I don't know where I put them all. But yeah, I'm gonna go read this. I'm gonna read probably like the first, I don't know, maybe like the first 100 pages of this. And then I'm going to give you an update. I'm going to read the first 11 chapters of this, I think. And then I kind of will give you guys an update and a time check and see where we are. It may even be tomorrow morning. But I have a 3-day weekend. And I just want to kind of take this weekend off a little bit. I want to kind of just focus on relaxing and not stress. But this is a middle grade book that I'm really excited for. So, yeah. And now you're going to flash backwards to past Laura, where she's talking about Beautiful Exile, when I started it. And then you're going to see me again when I'm talking about how I feel currently and where I am in this book. So a little bit of time travel, but you'll get used to it in this weekend vlog. During your reading. So I went back and I reread chapter 1, and this is Arden, I think it's Arden and Link's book. And Link is best friends with her brother, and Arden is in witness protection. Her family was killed. She's kind of one of the adopted siblings in this family, and she is an artist, and they're having some immediate hate to more vibes. Their relationship's up. Hopefully I'll get to listen to more of this tomorrow. As long as I can read stuff, I will be fine to do that. But yeah, that is the plan. That is my audiobook that I picked up. And yeah, so I'm gonna go back to reading this, and if I make some significant progress tonight, I will give you guys an update what a book I'm gonna pick or something. But if not, I will just talk to you guys later. But yeah, I got up to page 200 and I'm having a fun time, so I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. 255 about In Beautiful Exile by Catherine Cowles, and I'm really enjoying this book. I love Arden so much. I also love Link, and I think that this book again has suspense kind of all the way through, and I will say that does happen with Catherine Cowles. I would say as you normally when I read her at the very start, I think her suspense was really at the tail end of her stories, but this one is just so good. I'm really liking it. I'm loving all the side characters. I'm loving Arden. I'm loving Link. I'm loving seeing all the characters, and this book is just working for me. She's a very different type of heroine, and I think sometimes being in the Male Ted's, I'm oh my god, you're so possessive, you're so over the top. But I really am liking it. It's a fun story, and I'm having a fun time with it. So I have to go get my nails done tomorrow, so this will definitely get finished tomorrow as well. But yeah, that is the plan. So now, so that is the update. So the next time you see me, I will have made some progress on The Daggers of Ire and also on Beautiful Exile. So I will talk to you guys soon. Bye. I had a clip that I totally changed my book because I wasn't in the mood to read a middle grade book. Not that there was anything wrong with it, but I just wanted to read a You Can't Spell Treason Without T, so that's the book that I wound up reading instead. So if you see me switch books right now, that's why. I just was not in the mood to struggle with a book, so I picked that one up. Not that I wasn't liking it, I just wasn't in the mood for it. Hi Book Dragons, I am back. I have a bit of an update. It is about 1:30. I just got home from running my errands, going to get my nails done, all the fun things. So I did wind up finishing Beautiful Exile by Catherine Cowles. This is the 4th book in the Sparrow Fall series, and I'm gonna give this book 5 stars. I was saying, like, about midway through when I left my house, I was like, oh, this is probably gonna be like a 4.5 star read. But Catherine Cowles always blows me away at her ends and her romantic suspense. And I never really can predict who the killer or murderer is going to be, but this one was just so well crafted, and I think that it was so well crafted. You really saw at the end how much Link cared for Arden and how much Link was willing to do for her, and I just loved it. Like, I had such a fun time being back in this world. I am so excited for I think it's Seeking Shelter or Beautiful Shelter is the next one in the series. What is it called? Chasing Shelter, that's the next book. It follows a character sister that we met in this book, like, pretty heavily, and I'm so excited for that one. But I love this book. I love seeing all the side characters again. It was such a fun read, and one that, like, the ending surprised me. Like, I didn't really see that part coming, but I had such a fun time with this book. And the one thing I like about Catherine Cowles is very rarely do you get, like, a clear 3rd act breakup, because normally the 3rd act element is the suspense. So you're never really fearful of your characters. Like, very, very rarely does that ever happen. And I love the suspense. I think that the suspense here was kind of fluid all the way through, and it was an interesting way that she did it. It was very, very unique. So I'm going to give this book 5 stars, and I had such a fun time with this book. Like, really, really fun. And that's another book checked off that I read that I bought, which is exciting. And then I read about 84 pages in You Can't Spell Treason Without T by Rebecca Thorne. This has been on so many TBRs. I had this out on KU for a year before it actually came out. And if you like Legends and Lattes, I think you guys should pick this book up. And she says in her note, I read the back, I'd be lying if I said that this was not directly inspired by Legends and Lattes. And it very, very much is. I mean, obviously there are subtle differences, but very much inspired. So you basically have 2 characters who kind of are working for the political government. You have a mage who's very, very good at magic, and you have kind of like a guard. And they have a situation that kind of convinces our guard to kind of get away. And they've always had this dream about opening up a bookstore in this small town, but, like, she's pretty much trapped. And the queen's a little bit demanding. So if she runs away, she's going to basically be, like, on the run, and they don't want her to be found. So they find this small town, and they're kind of building up their perfect shop in this little barn, and I'm having a great time. Like, I don't want to put the book down. I'm gonna get up to page 150, and then I'm probably gonna give you, like, another update. But it is such a quick read, and one that I'm, like, having such a fun time with. And it's just, like, a quick read. It's very, very low stakes, but there is enough suspense in here that I think is keeping me engaged, because you do have some outside elements that are threatening both characters. So I do like that one quite a bit. And then, just because I needed an audiobook, I got my nails done. I get them done at the end of every month, so they hopefully last the whole month. They never do, but that's the goal. And I wound up picking up The Last Gifts of the Universe by Riley August. This is an arc that I got from ALA last year. It's also super short, but I have never read a cozy sci-fi, and this is what this is. And Danny from Danny Dabbles, I will link her below if I can remember, gave me this rec. So I'm 78 pages in, and you basically follow these 2 brothers and sisters who are on this adventure. They're kind of searching for answers because they are the only planet that has survived. And then they find this cache that's basically, like, going to tell them, like, what happened, why has everyone been killed, and they have to kind of try to find someone that kind of took more information from them, basically. And yeah, it's very, very interesting. I have never read a cozy sci-fi, but I'm having a fun time with this. And if I can get my butt up moving, because it's a beautiful day out, if the doggy wants to go outside, I will probably go listen to a little more of this when I go for a bike ride. But she has to get up because we do not wake up the sleeping puppy in this house. So yeah, that is my plan. That is what I'm doing. I am feeling relaxed. I have 3 books that I'm loving, which has not been my life in all of March and February. It's been a struggle those 2 months to find books that I love, but I'm happy that I'm picking stuff up. So the next time you see me, I will be 150 pages into Can't Spell Treason Without Tea, and hopefully at some point today I will listen to a little bit more and get up to chapter 18 in this book. But yeah, all right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Hi Big Chickens, I'm back. It's about 6 o'clock. I did wind up sitting down and getting up to page 162. Sorry, you're gonna see my dog. She normally is sleeping when I film, or she's resting, but she's not having a... Cassie, stop with the biting. And my mom's in the shower, and my dad's at work, so you're gonna see a little shepherd right now. Okay. Kissies? Kissies? No, no biting. Sorry, she's biting my wrist, and I'm just gonna let her first. No, that's no. No. Sorry, she's not cooperating. But I did want to... Kissy. Okay. Oh my. Okay. I love you too. Okay. If I don't do that, she's going to keep bothering me, and I just want to do a really, really quick update. But I did wind up getting up to page 162 in Can't Spell Treason Without Tea. I did not go for a bike ride because by the time I got everything all organized, I just didn't. And when I was working out, I watched a YouTube video instead. So, hoping to go for a walk tomorrow and go to yoga in the morning. I just don't know if I made that decision yet, but I am going to take this with me. I do definitely like the audiobook of this. There is like a lot of like special effects, sound effects, which I am liking, but I want to read that tomorrow. But yeah, I'm having a fun time with this. It's very much giving me Legends and Latte vibes. I will say I am really glad I'm physically reading this because Keontae and Rhea have very, very similar point of views. They are different, but I'm happy that I'm physically reading it. Very, very low stakes. But there are some elements that kind of give the story stakes, especially like the jobs of both Rihanna and Keontae. So like they, one is a mage, they're both connected to thing, and then there's also some like subtle things in the environments, like a dragon issue, some other things that are kind of getting them involved. But I'm having a great time. Like I want to keep reading. It's so low stakes, it's so cute, and it really does give me Legends and Latte vibes. You could really tell that Rebecca Thorne was inspired by that. So yeah, I'm going to give you another update when I get up to page 240, which is like another 100 pages in. I'm also still watching Big Bang Theory, and I'm taking care of my puppy. But yeah, so I'm going to go read another 100 pages of this, and then I'll give you guys an update, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Again, I'm back. It is Sunday. I also realized that this is the last vlog before the end of the quarter. So at the end of this vlog, because I don't think it's going to be that long, I'm going to do all my end of the quarter stats because I have a couple of things that I'm like tracking. So I'm probably going to do that at the very, very end. Tomorrow I do have the day off, so I'm probably going to do that in the morning. I'm going to kind of wrap this vlog up whenever I finish reading. But I got up to 152 in The Last Gifts of the Universe by Riley August, and I'm having a super fun time with this book. Like, it's a quick read. You follow these 2 siblings as they're kind of adventuring through the galaxy, trying to figure out why their civilization is the only one that survived. And they come across a cache that's kind of telling them a long-winded story of how they got there. But then they're being chased by like a rival company that wants to put everything behind a paywall, and they're kind of competing. And I'm having a fun time. I really am loving the audiobook. I'm so happy Spotify had the audiobook because it has a lot of mixed media elements to it. So I'm about 152 pages in. I'm on chapter 18, or at the end of 17, and I really want to keep reading. So that's really, really good. I'm also physically reading Can't Spell Treason Without Tea, and I'm on 265, which means I have about 100, like maybe like 50 or 60 pages left. I'm having a fun time with this book as well. Like, I'm really enjoying it. It definitely gives me Legends and Latte vibes, but they are a little bit more involved in their lives than like Viv was in Legends. So you do have a lot of elements happening. You do have some creatures, and I'm really excited to see where book 2 goes. This one's very, very focused on the small town life, and I think that book 2 changes the setting a little bit, but I'm really liking it. Like, it's a it's a sapphic story. We have a lot of found family dynamics, but we do have enough plot that's keeping me going. I do want to maybe try to listen to book 2 and see if that's going to help me. Right now I need stuff that's quick paced, and this is a little bit slower paced, but this is quick paced, so I'm having a great time. Yeah, so that is my plan. So I'm gonna go wrap this up. I do have to go shopping with my mom. I have so few days off, and I have to go to Michael's and pick up a few things for the show. Well, I have a little bit of time. And then I'm either going to read Queens of Crime, which is a quick book. This book is only not even 300 pages, and I may read this to like wrap up this vlog, or I may start a new vlog. We will see. But I want to see how long it takes me to finish this, to be honest. So yeah, I'm having a fun time with this. I'm having a fun time with this. I'm watching Big Bang Theory. I'm on season 10, I think. And then once I'm done with Big Bang Theory, I'm going to watch something new. I just needed a mental break in March. My brain was a little bit fried. So yeah, I'm going to go read a little bit more of this. When I'm done with this, I'll give you guys an update and I'll give you guys a time check. Right now, it's like 11:34. But yeah, so I'm excited to keep reading this. So that's what I'm going to go do. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Hey Book Dragons, I am back. I just want to do a quick update. Actually, a couple of updates. So I did want to finishing Can't Spell Truth Without T. And I'm giving this book 4.5 stars for review. I had such a fun time with it. I think it's a quick read, very, very low stakes. I love the characters. The world was fun. And I think it's a potentiality to be a much bigger series. Like, this was a very, very insular series with some political elements. I really enjoyed it. I had a great time with it. I think that if you like Legends and Lattes or Teller of Small Fortunes, I think you should check this book out because I had such a fun time with it and I gave it 4.5 stars for review. And then I also just finished The Last Gifts of the Universe by Riley August, and I gave this book 4 stars for review. Again, I had a fun time with it. It was a really, really quick read. Barely 300 pages, so I think that storyline, plot-wise, world-building was a little bit rushed, but I really like the characters. I like the dynamics. It was a fun read. Very, very action-adventure focused. If you're looking for a quick read for a readathon, I think that this would be a fun one. So, I don't know what I'm going to do right now. I think I'm going to roll the dice one more time and see what gets chosen, but I really want to read something short for today and tomorrow because I am off tomorrow. So if I don't like what I get chosen, I might just read The Queens of Crime by Marie Benedict. It is a book that I have out from my library. I do have the audiobook. It is a little bit short, but because I like a game of chance, let's roll it and see what it gives me. That might just be my audiobook. Like, I might just literally just read it as my audiobook for tomorrow when I'm doing some stuff in the morning. But I also may physically read it tonight. We'll see. Okay, so I have to read a library book anyway. So I think I am probably gonna read Queens of Crime, which I think could work. Another book that I could read, because it is also a book from my library, I'm gonna go get that as well, and I'm gonna kind of decide between these two. So the other library book that I have out is Breath of the Dragon by Chandali and Fondali. So I think I'm going to probably read one of these because they're both super short. I do have the audiobook for both. This is 335 pages and this is like just 300, and I do have the audiobook of both. But we are heading to the end of Realmathon, so I would like to choose like one more book to focus on. So I may read these, because this one I have to send back sooner. So I may read like the first like chapter or 2 chapters of this and see if I like this. And then if not, I'll listen to this tomorrow and I'll read this physically. But these are going to be the books I'm going to focus on, which are totally off my TBR. But you know what? That's okay. So now we're going to get up into the wrap up part of this thing. I'm going to go through all my stats first. And I'm going to so this will be the ending of this part, and I'm going to come back and kind of keep reading whatever I read. But then I want to do kind of a wrap-up part for the wrap-up of the quarter. Hi, Book Dragons! I am back. I just want to do a quick update. Last night, I did wind up reading about 25% in The Queens of Crime by Marie Benedict. Or Benedict. I think that this is a really, really fun read. Basically, you follow 4 true crime writers, women in the 1930s in London, and they want to join this club that is mostly run by male writers, and they're getting a little bit of sexism. So they decide to team up, the 4 of them. It's Dorothy Sayre, who is the main point of view in the story, and then you have Agatha Christie, who I have read before, Naomi Marsh, Marjorie Allingham, and Baroness Emma Orski. And they plan to solve a murder of a nurse in this town to see if they can like get admitted into the detection club. And I'm liking it so far. I'm 77 pages in and I just want to keep reading, which is really, really good. I did plan on listening to Signed, Sealed, Dead today, but I didn't. I wound up doing something else when I was doing my end of the year prep stuff, or the end of this quarter stuff. So yeah, I did that. Now I'm gonna go on and keep reading, and the last thing you're gonna see in this video is me reacting to my yearly goals. So I'm gonna go film that now. But yeah, you guys will see me when I'm about 154 pages into this book. That'll be my next point, and I'm also on, I think, the second to last season of The Big Bang Theory, so I'm gonna finish that today. That is the goal. So I will talk to you guys soon. Hey book driggers, I am back. I just want to do a quick update. I did wind up getting up to page 151 in The Queens of Crime, and I'm having a fun time. This is such like a quick read, and I feel like it's very, very interesting concept. I think you get a lot of talk about the politics of the world, women in roles that they don't really belong in, and like the very, very sexist. But I really do like the uncovering of the mystery. Like, I think it's a very like realistic thing. I'm curious at the end if there's like an author's note that kind of dives into this a little bit. Yeah, there is. There's an author note. But I'm having a fun time. I like these three characters. I think that Dorothy Sayers as the main character is interesting. They also do talk a little bit about the floating admiral in here, like how that came to be, because that is the club of people that these three women want to be, like these 5 women want to be a part of, but they're not really like welcome there. They're kind of seen as like a joke. And then because Dorothy Sayers' husband is kind of like a reporter, they're kind of involved in this, and then you kind of see them kind of going through and trying to solve the mystery, and I'm having a really, really fun time with it. I want to read another like 50 pages tonight, or at least right now. It's like still pretty early. It's like 1:24, so that is my goal. I'm gonna go read another like 100 pages of this and get up to page 243, and then I will give you guys another update. But I'm having a fun time. It's a quick read. I think this is like a great palette cleanser, and I'm happy that I finally picked it up. Yeah, and I like this author's writing style quite a bit. I know she has a book about like just interesting topics. She has another book about the day that Agatha Christie went missing, and she's a character in this, but you don't really get enough information, so I would like to read that one or listen to that one probably. But yeah, alright, I'm gonna go read a little bit more of this, and then when I'm done, when I read a bit more, when I get to that part, I'll give you guys an update. And I'll probably do like 2 more updates and see what time it is. I would love to finish this today because I love starting the month with like a fresh book, and I also didn't really make that much progress on Signed, Sealed, Delivered. I listened to like 10 minutes of it. I'm probably just going to toss that into another vlog like at some point this month. But we are heading into Aurelium, and my room for Aurelium is to always finish it like within like a week or 2 weeks, finish it in the first half of the month, and then kind of mood read and do some projects for the second half of the month. So that is my plan. But yeah, I'm going to go keep watching this. I'm going to go watch a little bit more of Big Bang Theory. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Hey dragons, I'm back. I am actually gonna stop this vlog because I want to start my other vlog, and I just don't want to be filming this right now because I want to be able to edit it and post it. So I did wind up getting up to page 188 in The Queens of Crime, and I'm having a fun time with this. I'm probably just gonna read this for the rest of the day and wrap it up in my next vlog when I have like a solid update. But it's a fun read. It's a quick read. I think it's a good palette cleanser. I think if you're a true crime aficionado and want like more about these characters and kind of a fictionalized version of their friendship, I think you should check it out. It's a fun read. I think the mystery is going to resolve itself, and it's quick. It also talks a lot about the politics of the day. If you want to read The Floating Admiral, which is kind of a joint written effort that they did, this is kind of the history leading up to that, which I think is interesting, and I would like to read more by this author in this future. I don't always read my mysteries. I tend to listen to them, which is probably how I would do it, but I felt like I needed like a bit of a palette cleanser, so that is my plan. So I'm gonna wrap this vlog up. I hope you guys are having a good day, and you guys are gonna see the rest of my content, like my wrap-up content for the winter, the first 3 months of the year. All of that stuff is gonna come next, and I will talk to you guys for that part, and then I'll see you guys for my next vlog. But you guys are gonna see a bunch of like content first, and then I'm gonna go wrap up the vlog. This is the wrap-up part of this quarter. So I do Cassidy from Covers with Cassidy, her spreadsheet, and I'm going to read out my stats because I like stats. If you're not that interested in stats, then I don't know, you could fast forward a little bit to when I'm holding up books again. But so I have read 59 books between January, February, and March. I have read 19,804 pages. I, on average, read 216 pages a day. Honestly, that's a little bit wonky because I definitely read less during the week, but I do listen to a good amount of audiobooks, and my average page count is 323, just because I listen to more audiobooks than I read physically. My most read genre is fantasy romance, which is actually different for me. Books with reps, I read 17. I read from 31 authors before, and I hauled 31 books. So, and then I had 8 books that I gave 5-star, 2 books I gave 4.5 star, 18 books that I gave 4 star, 23 books that I gave 3.5 star, 5 3, and nothing lower than that for an average rating of 3.67. I read 15 new releases, 19 backlists, and 25 from last year, which is very, very accurate because it is still the first quarter. I read 23 physical, 20 for audio, 5 mixed media, and 7 ebooks. And I try, like this stat sometimes gets a little bit wonky because I'm trying to track the books that like I'm physically reading, but it may be a little bit wonky. And then I started 21 series. I continued in 21. I completed 1, which, you know, we're getting there. And then I caught up with 5, and I DNF 6 series, which is not that bad. And then I'm still working on 35, and I read 16 standalone, 0 anthology, and 2 companion. I read 0, oh, that's a lie. I did actually read a middle grade book in here. I did. I read a couple of middle grades, so I don't know why that stat's not there. But I read 34. Okay, this stat is completely wrong. The age demographic is not working, but that's okay. I don't need to know that, but it says I read 34 young adult and nothing else, but I read a lot more than that, but that's okay. That's weird. Let me just see something. Yeah, for some reason that demographic is not coming up, but you know what? It's okay. It's still such a good spreadsheet, so maybe I did something wrong. Yeah, so that's not working, but I have acquired 10, 12 from Audible, 0 from KU, but technically I do use KU more for the audiobook feature. Like I will get a book for $7 and I'll read it. I read 11 from the library, 0 from NetGalley, 25 owned, and 1 from Everand. And again, I read 3 nonfiction, 9 fantasy, 9 mystery, 12 Mango graphic novels or novellas, I think. And then I read 15 fantasy romances, 5 romances, 2 contemporary, 2 thriller, 1 horror, 1 sci-fi. So yeah, that is my stats for the first quarter of the year. And now let's go to the stuff that I'm like tracking. And I think if I did this correctly, you guys will see pictures. I use Zinnia as my journal, so like I'm going to show you guys the pictures. The first thing I'm tracking is my 2025 NetGalley TBR. And I only read 1 book. So I read Rebel Witch on here. Here is the graphic. See that great, but I read 1 and I started a couple of these, so hopefully next season, next time we do this, I will have read more. And then the next thing you're going to see is you're going to see my 25 ARC TBR. These are the books that I got at the various cons that I went to that I was like most interested in. I will attach a photo here. Read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So not that bad, not that great, but not that bad. And then here is the 40 2025 books I will read and love. And here is that graphic. I read 8 of these and I DNF'd 1 of them. So technically I read 7. And then my self-destruct TBR that I have to read before the end of the year or I have to unhaul them. Here is this graphic. One, I read Scander and the Phantom Rider. So, and then the next graphics have books I should have read in 2024. Here is that graphic right here. I read 3. I read Fear the Flames, House of Bane and Blood, and A Letter to the Luminous Deep. So, not that bad. And then for the last graphic you guys are going to see, I did my 25 and 25 from Brie from Poor Paws in a Books. I'll attach that graphic here. Checked off a few things. So I read I read a 25 to 25 release. I read The Rose Bargain. I read a book that involves travel. I read Unraveled by the Keeper of the Lost City series. I read a book with a pretty cover. Right? Is that what that one was? I think that one was. A cover by, I read The Baby Dragon Cafe. I read a book. It's like a seasonally appropriate book. So I read Otherworldly by F.T. Lukens, which had like a winter setting. I read a LGBTQ plus rep book, which was Brewed with Love. I read a hype book that was Onyx Storm. And then I read a 5-star read production, The Language of Dragons, which I loved. And then I also read a book that had a snake on the cover, which was House of Bane and Blood. And honestly, I could have like put more, but I was trying to like not knock it all out of the park so soon. But yeah, so that's my wrap up for this part. I think I may come on at the end of tomorrow and just kind of go over my goals for the next season of life, like the next 4 or 3 months. I may do that, and if not, you'll just see the end of the video. But I really do want to come back on once I do my bullet journal for the next season. I normally do it like, if I don't do it today, I'll do it like, I'm going to do it tomorrow. So yeah, I will talk to you guys for another update in this vlog soon. It will be about my goals for the spring. Bye, friends. So I'm back. This will probably be my last wrap-up thing that I do, but I did want to wrap up my my reading checklist is one thing that I do every year in my bullet journal. And this is my winter one, but I'm not going to put any more books on here unless I finish this. So for e-arcs, I read Rebel Witch, which is exciting. For my next little sections of books that come out, I read The Baby Dragon Cafe and Assassin's Guide to Babysitting. I did not read any of my backlist books. And then I read Fear the Flames, House of Bane and Blood, and Letters to the Luminous Dead, which is really exciting. And I didn't read any of my bottom ones. So this is my list that I finished, which I'm really excited for. And I want to read the rest of them. So that's going to be my goal for the next season. And when I'm done, I'm just going to make a new list, because if I keep making a list, honestly, it will never get done. And then I will want to chat about the goals that I made at the start of the year. My most anticipated books, I have read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I read Language of Dragons, which I gave 5 stars to. Brewed with Love, that I gave 3 stars to. All the Missing Places, 5 stars. Onyx Storm, 5 stars. First Time Caller, 4 stars. And then I have been doing a good job at reading my special editions as I get them. I'm not fully caught up, but I am getting better at it. I have read a full sequel every month. I read Onyx Storm in January. I forgot what I read in February, but I also read something in February. I can't remember what it was. And then I also read Rebel Witch in March. So, TBR challenge vlogs I haven't really started yet, just because I've been doing a lot of readathons and I haven't had a chance, but I really want to do a TBR challenge vlog in April once I'm done with Aurelium. I have been reading 10 I've been reading 1 nonfiction a month. I said I only wanted to read 10, but I've read 3 so far, and I'm really excited to start the 4th one on tomorrow. I did read 1 historical fiction book, so I'm getting better at that, but I haven't done the greatest at that. I've been more in like a murder mystery mood. So yeah, I'm gonna try to work on that. And then fan row, I am still in the process of figuring out how I like to read my fan row. It sort of depends on the book. I have definitely read at least 5 Romantasy this year, and I have read a couple of Cozy, which means I'm on track for that. I have read a couple of NetGalley books, but nothing on my Kindle per se. I've just read them like once I got the physical book. I've been doing very good at my lists, even if they're not on my TBR. I have been picking them up. Collab more, not the greatest at. I'm still a little bit shy, but I'm going to work on it. And I really am not the greatest at reading on my Kindle in the evening. I'm going to kind of make it a goal this week to start that again. I just really like to watch TV before bed, but it's also really bad to turn my brain off, so I really have to get better at that. I did complete one series, and I am in the middle of reading a couple of companion series that I have made a lot of progress on. And Read 5 by 1 has been going well, and my readathon each month has been going well. So yeah, that is where we are with that. Let me know in the comments, do you make seasonal goals? I do. And then the goals I'm going to focus on for the next month that I'm going to focus on is working out and doing my weight watching program, which I have been trying to do. No yelling in my classes, which is really hard, and I want to run my show at least 4 times before the end of the month. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. See me wrap up this part of the vlog, and I totally forgot that I read Beautiful Exile. So that was a 5-star read. I had a great time with it. Would highly recommend it, but I did forget to include that in this past clip. So sorry. Chickens, I just want to completely wrap up this vlog. You wound up seeing me read 3 things in this vlog. You saw me read Can't Spell Treason Without T. You saw me read The Last Gifts of the Universe. And then you also saw me read about 188 pages in The Queens of Crime, which is a library book. So I wound up getting a few things off my March TBR, not everything, but a bunch. And I feel like I'm in a better spot to start April, which is really exciting. So I will talk to you guys soon for my first vlog for Aurelium, and I will talk to you guys soon.